One of the biggest mysteries in Dragon Ball Z is why Trunks couldn't save his future. Why didn't he ask the Z fighters in the past for the location of New Namek? And what about Goku? Why didn't he reach out to Trunks from the other world? Was there no way to find Namek's Dragon Balls? Why didn't Bulma build a spaceship to go there? There were many possible options Trunks could have explored to save his future. So, why didn't he? Let's dive into it. To understand if Trunks could have saved his world, we need to look at two main points. First, did he actually have the resources to do it, possibly with help from the past? Let's take a closer look. In Trunks' future, Goku died from the heart virus, and the Z fighters, including Piccolo, and by extension Kami, were defeated by androids 17 and 18. Without Kami, the Dragon Balls became stone, making them unusable. But even with these obstacles, there were still a few possible solutions. First, Goku, who likely had his body in the other world, could have reached out to Trunks or Gohan to help locate New Namek, gather the Dragon Balls, and bring everyone back. As we know, Goku would have probably been with King Kai, training just like he was before the Saiyan Saga. And it's possible that the other Z fighters were with King Kai too. So Goku could have reached out to Trunks and shared the location of New Namek, considering King Kai could locate it, as we saw in the Cell Saga. However, even knowing the location of New Namek wouldn't help much if there was no infrastructure in Trunks' future for space travel. When Trunks returned to the past in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, he mentioned that his mother could only gather enough fuel for a one-way trip. But with access to resources in the past, Bulma might have been able to produce more fuel. The story of Trunks' future shows that the androids destroyed essential technology and infrastructure, making it difficult to build a spaceship or gather necessary resources. Future Bulma spent years building the time machine, and it was an incredibly challenging task. On top of that, West City, where Capsule Corporation was located, was almost completely destroyed. As for Goku, could he have received a day pass to Earth, like we saw in the Majin Buu saga? Technically, yes, but that probably would have made things worse. This version of Goku, who died from a heart virus, wouldn't have had the strength to defeat the androids. And if he died a second time while already in the afterlife, he would be gone forever. Yes, Goku would have lost. Remember, the Goku in the past trained for 3 years before the androids arrived, so his strength was on par with Vegeta's, who was ultimately defeated by Android 18. Meanwhile, the future Goku hadn't needed to train to become stronger, since Earth was at peace. Therefore, Goku wouldn't have been able to do much, since the androids were equally powerful in both the future and the past. Another potential solution would have been for Trunks to ask the past Z fighters for the location of New Namek with King Kai's help, then use the technology of the past to gather resources and build a spaceship for his future. But from what we can gather, Trunks didn't consider this, or perhaps he simply didn't want to. It seems that all he wanted was a chance to start fresh. The time machine was created to allow him to travel to the past and warn the Z fighters of the impending threat, with the hope of creating a timeline that would be better than his own. Trunks was content with having helped create a new timeline where everyone was alive and safe, and for him, that was enough. The bonds Trunks formed were with the Z fighters of the past. The father he knew was the Vegeta of the past. All his friendships were in the past, and for him, that was enough. In Dragon Ball Super Volume 4, in an interview with Toyotaro and Akira Toriyama about the Black Saga, they explained that they created a situation where bringing back the Z fighters was impossible. They didn't worry about the solutions I mentioned here, because the point was never to save Trunks' future or restore it to what it had been. Even Trunks never considered this possibility. He simply accepted everything that happened and chose to move forward from it. When Trunks returns to his future, he finally defeats the androids. 3 years later, West City is almost completely rebuilt. When Cell shows up to kill Trunks, steal the time machine, and travel to the past, Trunks fights him away from the city to avoid further destruction. The idea of saving Trunks' future, or bringing everyone back who died, has always been a fan's dream. Bringing everyone back would only create a version of a world Trunks never knew, since he'd never known peace from the time he was born. Instead, he chose to accept what happened and move on. But what about you? Would you have wanted Trunks' future to be completely restored? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. That's it for today. See you in the next video.